So ever since I saw Batman v Superman in the theater, I hated it. Now we're going to watch Batman v Superman, the Ultimate Edition, 10 minutes at a time to see how it is. Welcome to part 2. Joining me as always is Robert. How is it going, Robert?
It is going well.
Are you excited? Are you ready for the rant?
I'm ready. Minutes 10 through 20. Let's do it.
So I will say this up top. I definitely enjoyed these 10 minutes more than the first 10 minutes. How about you?
Yes. I liked these 10 minutes, actually.
So
this was actually a stronger 10 minutes, definitely.
Here we go. We start off, and it's 18 months after the battle in Metropolis. A couple of guys are salvaging wreckage. Then we head to Africa for a quick Coca-Cola product placement. Hey, just because it's a different language doesn't mean I don't know what that bottle looks like. So Lois shows up and meets Jimmy Olsen. So it's been 18 months after Man of Steel, right? Jimmy Olsen, reporter for the Daily Planet, is not a reporter for the Daily Planet. Is that right?
That is correct.
All right, fine. Seems like an odd choice.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, at this point, all we know is he takes pictures.
Yes, and they're just meeting. So I'm like, oh, hey,
Yes.
Jimmy, good to see you again. Mentioning a previous relationship. Not at all. So Jimmy looks all rugged. He's got a beard. He looks tall. Lois and Jimmy head to the general's hideout with bags over their heads. So far, the tension is pretty good. It's very serious. So I kind of like this so far. So we get out of the car, and Jimmy picks up his camera, but he's stopped by Sunglasses Guy, whose name escapes me. I think they tell us who he is later. Do you remember the guy's name?
Nope.
All right, Sunglasses Guy it is. Jimmy explains it's just a camera, but Sunglasses Guy takes the camera and he takes it apart, exposing the film. Okay.
Film.
Yes.
Film.
Why is there film in this movie?
Plot device?
Do we know what year it is? Is this like one of those Batman the Animated Series things where there's all kinds of time periods at once, or?
I think that's what's got to be going on. Or maybe he's just old school. He likes the film.
Yeah, I don't know why Jimmy's using film. I think he might be a hipster. Maybe he's got a secret origin involving his great uncle Horace, who used to use film, and that's why he did it. But the thing is, they don't tell us why there's film, and that's not like a huge thing. But it does lead to the next scene where Sunglasses Guy is not done. He breaks the film cartridge under his foot, and he picks up a little glowing thing. Sunglasses says,
CIA.
What do you think of this leap of logic?
You mean that he knows it's CIA immediately after he breaks it?
Yeah.
I think it's quite the leap. Unless we're supposed to assume, Sunglasses Guy is, pretty much counterintelligence and knows exactly what model this thing is and where it's from.
We can go with that. Okay, so I don't know why.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even think of that, but yeah, okay.
All right, so it's a little glowy thing that's inside of a film canister, and normally there aren't glowy things inside of film canisters. So, okay, there's something odd about this so far. But they don't try to send the beacon away. So if they think it's CIA, you think they would want to, send the CIA off their tracks, but they just destroy it. Meaning the last signal was right here where Jimmy is.
And we are still right here, yes.
Right. So I don't know how these kinds of operations work. I've never worked for the CIA or anti-CIA. I'm not planning to. So this turns out really bad quickly for Jimmy. Now, he's on his knees explaining that Lois has nothing to do with the CIA and they use her credentials. Olsen says he's authorized to propose an arrangement. Now, here's something that's not in the original cut. That proposal of an arrangement is not in the original cut. So he's just saying, it's okay, Lois, after he says, she's not in it, it's okay, Lois, and he's shot.
No wonder why I like this 10 minutes better in this, because it actually makes sense as to what he's doing and what he actually probably seems like a CIA agent in this version, whereas in the other one, he seemed like a doofus.
So let's say there's two ways to fix this. If Jimmy and Lois know each other a long time and he says, it's okay, Lois, that has a lot more weight to it. If they're just meeting and he says it doesn't mean as much. But in this cut, I will say it actually makes a lot more sense that he's just trying to negotiate out. He's working for the CIA. He wants to figure something out. But he's telling the reporter who has nothing to do with this, it's okay. So, and with that, Superman's pal, Jimmy Olsen, is shot and killed. So the CIA is watching this, and they report, Talon is down. The CIA wants to blow up where the general is. I don't believe any of this stuff is in the actual released cut. As I rewatched it today, this is not.
It's not.
No.
None of that.
No, sir. So the whole...
What happens in the original cut?
Okay, Jimmy is shot.
Yes.
Hang on, so let me jump around in my notes here, because I actually have the notes of this. So we have Sunglasses and the men start shooting all the general's men, and then he leaves.
That's it.
Okay, and then Superman shows up. When you see the sunglasses guy looking up to the sky, and then Superman shows up against the general who's holding Lois. There's a huge...
So none of that drone thing, none of that was in the original cut?
That's correct. So I'm going to go back and explain what is added in this. So we got Olsen is shot and killed. The CIA is watching this. They actually see him get killed in like an infrared kind of camera. They report Talon is down. None of this is in the release cut. The CIA wants to blow up where the general is, the whole village. Another operative, Python, who again is not in the other movie, is told not to save Lois. Python doesn't listen and heads towards the village. Then Sunglasses and his men start shooting all the general's men. That's in both movies. Sunglasses guy sets fire to the group. That part, not in the theatrical cut. Kind of really important for later in this 10 minutes.
Yes.
So the drone is coming in for a strike, okay? Which is pretty cool. The drones coming in, and they're going to blow up this village, and there's going to be casualties, okay? There's a village and there's a bunker. And so Sunglasses guy gets out of the general's bunker. A missile is shot where the general and Lois are in this village. And then here comes Superman. The missile's down. The drone is down. And then that part, again, not in the original cut. Superman just shows up in the original cut to save Lois, which is kind of horrible.
Wait, but this makes so much more sense. We understand what the CIA is doing. That's exactly what the CIA would do. Just blow it up. Obviously, there's casualties, but you know what? They need to kill this guy because he's a high priority target. That's crazy. No wonder why it made so much more sense.
So in this version, the Ultimate version, at least he saved some lives. He saved the town, okay? Now, he just killed the general. So Superman finds Lois who's being held at gunpoint by the general. Now, the general's threatening Lois's life, which is a terrible idea. That's a huge mistake. Superman has no issues with killing humans. I don't know if you guys have noticed this at all. Superman and Lois exchange a nod, and boom. General is put through several brick walls, and Superman's an asshole. So let's talk about Superman. He could have easily removed the general from Lois in lots of ways without killing him. Like, let's say he flew at the general, turned his back into the bricks, and just flew the other way. That dude's knocked out. Not dead. Yeah. Knocked out, possibly brought to justice, which they could have just shown us in like a slow-mo shot, because I know Snyder...
I think Kal-El in this iteration has some anger issues. Okay,
so the general shouldn't have messed with Lois like that. So let's just go with, he could have frozen him there. He moves faster than the Flash, as we've seen later. There's no other way to do it. So anyway, this is Superman, and he's extreme and dark and angry. All right, so now we have this part that is also not in the released movie. CIA comes to the bunker and finds people dead, including the burned people. Women of the village are coming in and crying. They're around the dead people, the people who were burnt, and Lois there finds her notebook. Then we go to Congress, where we have a lady saying her village heard a noise like the sky opened. This part is the same in both parts of the movie, but something has changed in the lines. In the Ultimate Edition, she says, "We heard a noise like the sky had opened, then there was fire. Her parents tried to run." So in the original one, she says, he came down. Not there was fire, it was he came down. She also says the government attacked all the people. So this is wildly different right here. Because fire makes sense, and we'll get to that in a minute. So Holly Hunter says the committee holds Superman responsible. Now, why is that? She says that, quote, "The world has been so caught up with what Superman can do that no one has asked what he should do. Let the record show that this committee holds him responsible." The witness then says he'll never answer to you. He answers to no one. Not even, I think, to God. So at this point, I'm scratching my head. Because we're running out of time on this one. I believe that we get to a football game in 20 minutes and 7 seconds. So that part, I'm not going to count.
Yeah.
So I just remembered something. I'm like, hey, wait, didn't we have a scene in Man of Steel where Superman is in cuffs walking down with military and he's talking to Lois?
Yeah.
Yeah, he does do this. Okay? And then he just showed that he will answer to the government right there. He's just being super chill. Yeah. He also does take off his cuffs, and he did say this, though, so to be fair, he says, he can't be controlled, but I'm not your enemy.
Right.
Okay, so, like I said, I didn't hate this 10 minutes as much as I hated the first 10, and I think this would have helped a lot in the storytelling. I want to see where this goes, because the incineration of the men is hugely important, because if...
Go ahead. because if they're going to frame him, he wouldn't use guns. He wouldn't shoot people. You can't frame Superman for something if people are dead by gunshots.
And that's the cut we got in the theatrical version.
Which made no sense at any point.
I believe the entire thing we talked about in these 10 minutes are about 5 minutes in the theatrical cut. Because I was scrubbing around and I was like, this is missing, that's missing. But, oh my gosh, what a hugely important thing that as much as Jimmy is kind of wasted, and I get the Zack Snyder like, haha, we'll subvert your expectations by killing Jimmy. Well, at least he has more of a role in the original cut. Yep. It's only like a minute longer if you just leave that in. The CIA thing is huge.
Well, and it makes sense why he didn't destroy the beacon, because he wants them to find everything. He wants the CIA to get there so they can blame Superman for it.
Not only that, so we have this government blaming Superman when the government is to blame for some of this death. So like they are,
and the government was going to blow them all up anyway.
Yeah, they could have been responsible for many more deaths if not for Superman.
The government, all these people were going to be dead, and technically Superman did exactly what they would have done with the bomb. He killed the bad guy, and they think he killed all these other people who all would have been dead anyway.
So I will say I didn't hate this. If I was going to scale this, like the first 5 minutes, the first 10 minutes, I'm going to say out of a scale of 5, I hated it 4 out of 5. I think there's some cool stuff in the first 5 minutes. And this one, I'm going to say I hated like 3 or 2.5. I'm going to say it's pretty close. Like it's half good. It's actually half good. It's just like all of the stuff is in there for logical reasons.
It makes sense. The script flows better in this 10 minutes than the original 5 minutes or whatever.
Any final words for parts 2 of what's supposed to be 13 parts of this?
The only extra thing I had was Lois is really a bitch to Jimmy.
Lois is really tough. Tough.
Maybe that's what they overdo her toughness a little too much sometimes.
Yeah, it seems unearned.
It seems forced.
Yeah, thank you. It's not unearned, it's forced because it's the wrong scenario. When she's tough with the general, that makes sense. Because
that makes sense, yeah, but her tough with the guy who's there to help her, even if he is just supposed to be taking pictures, yeah.
And not to be like, well, we know how these characters should act.
Right.
Lois might be a little bit more sarcastic and kind of chiding the person, trying to find out more about the person before she talks down to them. You know, she takes a while to talk down to you, or it's just like, if you catch up with her, you can keep up with her, she'll respect you. But there's no opportunity for that. So I'm going to say goodbye until part 3 of Batman v Superman, the Ultimate Edition. Does it still suck or not?